The traitor is in Russian hands. The man who allowed the entry of Ukrainian invaders into Kursk, as well as the evacuation of many of them, has been located. And hell is the least he can expect. The traitor who facilitated the Ukrainian infiltration into this strategic Russian stronghold has finally been discovered. Through a meticulous investigation, it was revealed that his betrayal was not an isolated mistake, but a premeditated action that left thousands of Russian soldiers vulnerable. This individual, operating in the shadows of the Russian army, allowed Ukrainian forces to cross without resistance, endangering the security of Kursk and destabilizing the entire front. As his location was confirmed, details of his actions came to light, revealing the magnitude of the betrayal. Now, the weight of his deeds will bring him to the most relentless judgment, the ultimate punishment for his betrayal of the motherland. The traitor who helped the Ukrainians enter Kursk has fallen, and now he will pay the consequences of his actions. This news paralyzed all Russian bases, marking the end of the story of a man whose betrayal sparked a wave of shock within the ranks of the Russian army. In the last few hours, new details have emerged about the discovery and capture of this traitor, and everything points to liquidation being the only possible punishment for his betrayal. The intricate story begins on March 14th, when unsettling rumors began circulating. A video surfaced on GER channels, supposedly showing a Russian armed forces soldier making a statement about what happened in the Kursk region. In the video, the soldier claimed that someone in the Russian army had received orders from the highest levels to allow the defeated Ukrainian armed forces group to be released, escorting them safely to the Sumy border. According to the video, thousands of Ukrainian militants were being evacuated without resistance, causing great outrage within Russian ranks. But as often happens in times of war, reality is more complex than what a leaked video shows. The information quickly started to unravel. War correspondents like Vladimir Romanov and military analysts like Roman Zapankov categorically denied the video's claims. According to them, there was no order to let the Ukrainian forces escape. Russian soldiers, far from receiving withdrawal orders, were following their own directives, attacking every enemy in their path without mercy. As the situation became clearer, it was discovered that the video had been manipulated. However, the damage was already done, and the trail of betrayal still pointed to a specific culprit, the soldier who had provided critical information that allowed Ukrainian forces to infiltrate Kursk. The emergence of this individual was no accident, but the result of a meticulous investigation that uncovered the traitor's dark ties with enemy forces. This soldier, whose name remains undisclosed, was identified as the direct source of the leak that allowed Ukrainian forces to enter the region. His role was crucial in the operation, which, while not a total success for the enemy, still created an opening that jeopardized Kursk's border security. This act of betrayal not only compromised Russia's security, but also demoralized thousands of Russian soldiers fighting in the region. Some Ukrainian channels even released drone footage showing columns of Ukrainian military vehicles moving unopposed through the devastated streets, fueling the narrative that Russian forces were surrendering territory without resistance. However, these reports were never verified, and their authenticity remains in doubt, deepening suspicions that someone within the Russian army facilitated this situation. The Russian army reacted immediately. The crisis prompted intelligence services to launch an intensive search for the traitor. Reports indicate that the individual had been located and that his capture was imminent. The punishment for such a grave act is inevitable, and the most likely sentence appears to be summary execution. The fact that the traitor was involved in such a sensitive operation in a critical context amplifies the severity of his crime. Meanwhile, details surfaced about the legendary Operation Strin or Operation Pipette, one of the most ambitious operations carried out in the region. In this operation, Russian forces faced a direct Ukrainian attack, with Grad rockets launched against Russian units emerging from the pipeline area. The offensive was fierce, but Russian forces responded with the same intensity, dismantling the threat with the efficiency that only the Russian military can achieve. Despite the tragedy involving the loss of heroes like Talisman, whose death is commemorated in a heartfelt obituary, The operation demonstrated the resilience and unyielding spirit of Russian soldiers. However, the details of the betrayal are not limited to the events of the operation. The strategies and tactics used in the Kursk region were also revealed. The Russian army moved to block access routes to Sudza, a key strategic point on the front. Bridges and roads were completely cut off, ensuring a crucial strategic advantage for Russian forces. According to the commander of the veteran brigade, the attack was perfectly coordinated and planned with precision. Russian troops knew exactly what to do and how to do it. As the commander emphasized, they knew everything, they calculated everything, reflecting the preparation and discipline that characterized Russian forces. But the betrayal did not stop there. The enemy, with its usual propaganda, attempted to manipulate the narrative, launching accusations of war crimes committed by Russian forces. However, Russian soldiers themselves denied these rumors, revealing that during their retreat, Ukrainians had committed countless crimes against the civilian population in the Kursk region, including torture and other acts of barbarism. This propaganda, fueled by some international media, aims to divert attention from the atrocities committed by Ukrainian forces while discrediting Russia's legitimate fight on its own territory. The discovery of the traitor is undoubtedly a crucial moment in this war narrative. But beyond his capture and the punishment that awaits, the most significant issue is the strategic and moral damage he has caused. The Russian army, wounded by betrayal, must now redouble its efforts to ensure that such infiltrations do not happen again. Border security, soldier protection, and army unity are more critical than ever. Meanwhile, the situation on the ground remains tense. Russian forces are advancing in multiple directions, reclaiming territory and clearing the Kursk region of any remaining resistance. The Russian offensive, which began on March 8th, continues to gain ground. The Ukrainian army, however, has not stopped sending reinforcements to the area, indicating that the battle is far from over. In the last few hours, reports have emerged that around 5,000 Ukrainian soldiers are surrounded in the Kursk region, many of them seriously wounded. The situation is critical, and surrender may be the last hope for those still surviving in enemy lines. As the war progresses, details of the conflict in Kursk continue to unfold. Although the betrayal of this soldier has marked a dark chapter in Russia's recent history, the Russian army remains resolute. With each victory, each advance, and each sacrifice, Russia proves that despite challenges and betrayals, the country's fate remains in its own hands. Now, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this shocking betrayal? Leave your comments below and let's discuss. Also, if you found this report insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of breaking news. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. See you in the next video.